Hey everybody, welcome back, and today we're going to be doing a review video of Seaworld San Antonio. We just recently took a trip there just a couple of weeks ago, so I wanted to do an updated review video of this, something we haven't done in a while. We're going to cover a lot of stuff from rides to shows to a lot of the add-ons. So without any further ado, let's hit the intro and let's get straight into it. If you guys enjoy the content and you want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and if you want to help support the channel even further, go ahead and smash the thumbs up button. There is a lot of information we're going to cover here, so we're going to leave timestamps down below so you guys can kind of skip and move around if you guys want to. First thing I want to talk about is what type of group is SeaWorld made for? There are certain times of the year where SeaWorld is going to be really good for some people, and for other people it's not going to be so fun for them. Particularly people with smaller children. People with smaller children are more likely to go during summer, spring, maybe even early in the fall, most definitely around Christmas time, especially during the Christmas break. But people with small children are less likely to want to go during Halloween times when they have all the stuff going on there with Halloween. There are some kiddie stuff for Halloween that goes on there at SeaWorld, but it's not something that's really going to attract a bunch of small children in the area. Usually if you have small children, infants and toddlers, you're going to want to kind of keep them away from that because you don't want them to die of a heart attack, or if you're like me, you're like sending your kid into the meat grinder and then just sitting back and watching it. It's completely entertaining, it's hilarious, and you kind of teach them that, there are some things in this world that are just scary. But aside from that, SeaWorld is most commonly used for children because of the shows. The shows and the rides at this park are absolutely incredible, especially when it comes to smaller children. There's an entire section specifically made just for children and riding rides. If you're visiting the park, especially if it's going to be a busy time, I would recommend as soon as you get into the park, being there as soon as the park opens. And if you have kids and you would like to ride the kid rides in the section, in that entire kid section, I would recommend going straight there. Don't go to other rides and then say, you know what, we'll come back later and do this for the kids. Because trust me, once you get there later in the day, the lines for these kid rides are absolutely incomprehensible. It's ridiculous. You're looking of upwards of like an hour to an hour and a half wait time on the kiddie coaster there. You're looking of upwards of about 45 minutes to an hour on the drop tower. The miniature carousel they have there, the lines are completely crazy. So the best thing to do is as soon as you get to the park, the first thing you do is you go to the kid rides. Because there's not a lot of people there right when they open. Most of the people that are there are going to be going to Texas Stingray, Steel Eel, Journey to Atlantis, Great White. Now the new log flume, they're going to be heading there. So the best opportunity if you have kids is to hit that area first. As far as the shows, there are several different shows that go on. Our favorite show that we like to go to is either Ocean Discovery, which is on the backside area like you're going towards Journey to Atlantis, or Orca Encounter, which in retrospect is a killer whale show. The killer whale show is something that if you haven't seen, you probably should go see it. You're already there. Anytime that you buy park admission, you don't have to pay separately to watch the shows and ride the rides. All of that is included in your admission to the park. So if you buy one-day park admission, you have the ability to ride all the rides, go see all the shows, go to the penguin exhibit, do all of these things. They're all included in there. I noticed that in the past people have asked, do I have to pay extra to do this? There is an instance to where you would have to pay extra to do certain things, such as some of the animal tours. There are specific animal tours in and around the park that sometimes are a really good investment, but some of them really aren't. They sound like a good investment based on the way they promote them, but they're really not. For example, the killer whale tour. You're there with a group of people who also paid for it, and you essentially wait in line to take 3 pictures with a killer whale sitting behind you in the tank. It is an absolute waste of money. If it's something you want to do for one time and you want to get a picture with you and your kids with the killer whale behind you, and that's what you want for your family, then by all means go for it. But if you're looking for something like an immersive or something that's going to be really educational type of tour, that is not going to be the tour for you. The bad thing about these tours is most of these tours are leaned towards adolescent children. They are not friendly when it comes to toddlers, pretty much anyone under the 48-inch height requirement. The dolphin tours, you can get the behind-the-scenes dolphin tours where you can feed the dolphins and do this, but you cannot get in the water if your child is not 48 inches tall. The same way with the beluga whale tour. There are several different other ones with the other dolphins there in the Ocean Discovery. So trust me, we are very, very excited once Asher hits that 48-inch height requirement, because then we can take him in there, because the one he wants to do is the dolphins. The penguin exhibit, there's a behind-the-scenes tour of the penguins where you go behind the scenes. If you go into the penguin exhibit and you've seen it, you get to go behind the glass there and you get to handle penguins and pet them, and you get to learn a lot of stuff about the penguins. But if you're not 48 inches tall, your child is not going to be able to do that. This is something with the penguins that I don't really understand it. 48 inches tall, like, you're taller than the penguins. So, I mean, you should already hit that height threshold, personally. But I'm sure there's some liability reasons as to why they set this at a certain standard. These tours you will have to pay extra for. Some of them range anywhere between $30 to $40. Some of them are upwards of $350, depending on which tour you get. So you can manage these through the add-on sections on the Seaworld website. I'm going to link that down below in the description box so you guys can check it out if you want to add something extra to it. Another extra that is really good during the Christmas times is these dinings. There's dining extras such as Dine with Rudolph and Friends, Dine with Mr. and Mrs. Claus. We have done both of these different years, and I will tell you, have low expectations. If you're going to do this, there's nothing wrong with doing this. If you're going into these, have low expectations when it comes to these dining experiences at SeaWorld. The food is not going to be like a 5-star restaurant. It is expensive, but you're not going to get the quality of food with the amount of money that you're putting towards it. You are essentially, it is like a character dining at Disney World. The food at character dinings are not really all that great. You are essentially there for the experience and for the characters. It is no different when you're at SeaWorld during the Christmas time dining experiences. You are there for the characters, and you are there to get your pictures with Santa, pictures with Rudolph, the other reindeer, and the abominable snowman, and that's essentially what you're there for. Everything else, it's literally just normal quick service theme park food. It's not the greatest, so if you have low expectations going into these, then you'll do just fine. But don't reserve it expecting, okay, well, I'm paying $100 for my family, so the food's going to be really, really good. Don't go in there thinking like that. Have a low expectations with it, so that way when you have low expectations, and if it just so happens it's better than you thought it was, it's always better that way than expecting it to be better than it actually is. One of the biggest and most slept on add-ons ever is the ability for quick queue. Some people that have been to SeaWorld for an extended period of time might get really annoyed when you're sitting there waiting in line for 35 minutes to get on Wavebreaker, and then you see this one person walking into the quick queue line. They literally scan their wristband and they get on the ride before you. That is what quick queue is. It is essentially, it allows you to skip the line and not have to wait in line as long. When we're going to SeaWorld to do a lot of riding, to get footage, or just to have fun, we most always get quick queue. In December, we're taking a trip to SeaWorld Orlando. That environment compared to SeaWorld San Antonio are two completely different environments, two completely different monsters. So you kind of have to have quick queue in Orlando. I always get quick queue in San Antonio because the San Antonio crowds is really hit and miss. There are some days where you think it's going to be absolutely crazy in the park and there'll be nobody there. There are other days when it's supposed to be really slow and the crowd projections are really low that the park will be completely packed. There's really no guaranteed way to know. I have realized that every time we've bought quick queue, the parks have been slow. And any time that we don't buy quick queue, the park is completely packed. So you kind of got to take a chance with it. I would recommend if you're going for one day and you only have one day to do everything and you want to be able to ride all the rides, all the roller coasters, see all the shows, go ahead and make the investment and get the quick queue. It's going to be extremely beneficial for you because you're not going to have to spend a lot of time waiting in line. The most we've waited in line with a quick queue is about 20-25 minutes. Okay. Not a bad investment. This is something that a lot of people sleep on. Some people say they didn't even know it was there until they got to the park. So trust me, if you have the extra money and you have the finances and you can, just go ahead and get the quick queue. If you're an annual pass holder, you get a discount anywhere from 15 to 50% off on it. So if you happen to know someone that is an annual pass holder, you can give them the money, let them buy it, and you'll get it at a cheaper price. So let's talk about the rides. We talked about the kid rides earlier, but now let's talk about the adult rides. There are two rides that you're going to see prior to entering the park. One is going to be Still Ill. It's going to be the purple and yellow roller coaster that's been there forever. I really enjoy this ride. If you have any type of problems, actually, if you are actually over the age of 12 and you don't want to have back problems or tailbone problems, I would recommend waiting and just ride this thing in the front because this thing in the back is completely astoundingly rough. There is floater airtime on this ride, which is phenomenal, but you have to keep in mind that floater airtime floats you up into the air and then puts you back down on the seat. These seats at Still Ill are plastic. So you're in the middle of a ride, sitting on the back, you go up and you get slammed down onto that plastic seat. It is very painful. Take my word for it. If you just want to get on the ride and you ride in the back, don't say I didn't warn you. Okay? If that's what you do, if you're like me and you don't have no ass, okay, it's painful. Okay? It's really painful. So just, be in the front. You don't have to be at the front seat, but more towards the front, like two cars. Okay? And you should have a really good ride, especially with the floater airtime. Great White is kind of, it was a hit and miss there for a while, but it is the B&M coaster of the park. Just about every theme park has these. Great ride, floorless coaster, nothing too crazy, over the shoulder restraints. You've also got Texas Stingray, which is the GCI coaster there. Phenomenal ride. We absolutely love this ride, especially in the summertime. Because when it heats up and the tracks really get hot, this thing can haul. Let me tell you, this thing can haul. You've got Wavebreaker, the rescue coaster, which is the launch coaster. It is a family coaster. Everybody I've ever went to the park with has ridden this thing. It's great. It's phenomenal. You should be fine as long as you're not my mother, who looked like she was going to have a heart attack on the ride. But aside from that, it's a phenomenal ride. Great for kids. If you have kids under about 36 inches tall, they're not going to be able to ride Stingray. They're not going to be able to ride Still Ill or Wavebreaker. Wavebreaker, I do believe, has like a 48-inch height requirement for it as well. Journey to Atlantis will only be open in the late spring and during the summertime. It usually closes right around October or somewhere. It doesn't close for refurbishment. It just closes because of the weather. Why are you going to run a water ride when it's cold? So don't expect them. I do know when we go there in Christmas every year, it's always shut down. They're not going to run it. So it's a great ride. 36-inch height requirement. So if you have kids that are within that, they can ride it. It's nothing really too crazy. And then there's the log flume, the brand new log flume, the launch log flume that came out. That has a 36-inch height requirement. So if you have kids that are within that, they'll be able to ride that. Let's talk a little bit about the dining. Dining here is pretty it's dining. It's theme park dining. There's nothing too crazy. I found out that the barbecue place right across from Orca Encounter is the best restaurant in SeaWorld. Personally, every time we go to SeaWorld, we go there specifically to get the three meat combo there with the chicken, the brisket, and the ribs. It's phenomenal. If you have annual pass, you get your discount on your food. Um, we love the barbecue there. The barbecue there at SeaWorld at that restaurant is better than any barbecue at Six Flags Fiesta Texas by a long shot. Um, yeah, one of my favorite restaurants there. So if you're looking for a good restaurant, definitely recommend the Big Barbecue Place. You can't miss it. It's like dead center of the park. So if you're next to like Orca Encounter and Texas Stingray, you see the big, southern, farm tower. Go towards it, and you'll be there. Just go in there and get you some food. If you have a family of like 3 or 4 that's going to be eating, and you want an opportunity to be able to save yourself some money on it, you should get one person having all day dining. The all day dining is going to cost you about $40 or $50 depending on the time of year you're going, and during that time you are able to eat a meal every 90 minutes. So if you stagger when you eat with your family, you can make your all-day dining last if you have the adults eating every 90 minutes and then let the kids eat whenever they eat. But you can save yourself money that way, and like I said, you can eat every 90 minutes, so you can keep getting it every 90 minutes, which also applies for snacks. You can use your all-day dining, get a snack, and then 90 minutes get lunch. 90 minutes from now, get another meal. 90 minutes, you can keep using it for the entirety of your stay. Now, if you're like us and we usually only eat one meal when we're in the park, we usually eat at 2. After that, we usually dip out and go to Fiesta, Texas at the end of the day because we have dining plans over there. Then, yeah, there's just no reason to have that. No reason at all, because it's just, you're going to be paying $25 a person to eat. You might as well just go ahead and pay the $25 to be done with it. It's not worth the all-day dining. But yeah, we absolutely love this park. We love going to this park. This park really peaks up, I do believe, during Christmas time with their Christmas lights display. They do a phenomenal job. They do a lot better job than Fiesta Texas does, although I can say this past year Fiesta Texas stepped it up a little bit. But I still believe that SeaWorld definitely does a better job with their Christmas than Fiesta Texas does. So if you have kids that love Christmas lights, this is a great opportunity for them to see a lot of Christmas lights. So that's going to do it, man. That's our review of SeaWorld in San Antonio. If you guys have any questions or concerns, or you want to add anything to it, don't forget to sound off in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.